Let's see if we can't do it like this. What is happening? Mediocre people of YouTube. So yesterday, I announced my candidacy for President of the United States. That'll never happen. Not because I'm not qualified or it should just be perceived as some type of joke. It's actually because I'm overqualified. And the second that I take that debate stage and start addressing the middle class, the majority in this country, directly, it's over. It's literally over that fast. I would win by a landslide. Okay? By the way, I'll be announcing my running mate soon. And I think you guys will be pleased with who my running mate is. I need to talk to him or her. Or in this day and age, should we say them? But you know, they are not going to be my running mate. But we'll see how that goes. I've got a couple people in mind, but the one keeps popping up pretty strong, so we'll see if he's willing to go along with me on this. Anyway, it won't happen anyway because we won't be elected. And, you know, you say things like, well, it's more than the middle class, it's foreign policy and everything else. Yeah, I know, but I'll just do the same thing that every other president does. You pick a cabinet of advisors and you make the best decision possible with experts in every field, okay? But the broad strokes of my administration would be to allow the middle class to have some progress and actually make it. And actually let the United States be this great country that we all talk about and say it is, without people struggling and dying and everything else because they can't afford fucking groceries, let alone healthcare or something like that. Anyway, I have ways of solving that in 2 seconds. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about more importantly today is that nowadays I question everything. I really do. I question absolutely everything. I question if I'm really driving down the road right now, you know. I question everything. You know, we used to talk about, and still do, but it was very prevalent during the Cold War era in the 1980s, was to talk about Russian propaganda and communist propaganda, and it's not like it's not real. It's just that American propaganda is even stronger. And what I mean by not just the media, fuck the mainstream media, forget the mainstream media. Look into the movies, the entertainment industry, and the propaganda that goes on in the entertainment business. And it really starts to make you question everything you thought you knew to be true. You know, take somebody like Muhammad Ali, for instance. You know, if we didn't know that Muhammad Ali was going to be the greatest of all time, okay? Like, the whole story is, the backstory is always just this guy from Louisville, Kentucky, you know, just a regular guy. Okay. If that's true, then why do we have professional grade video footage of him as a child, jogging, working out, all through long before he ever became a boxer or any of this stuff, okay? And you start looking into this stuff further, And I know there's going to be people who watch this video laugh and say, ho, 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 conspiracy theorists. And maybe you're right. But I'm only going off of what I see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears. Okay? And when you're talking about the television, what you see and hear allows you sometimes to just smell it. Take Glenn Frey, Don Henley, and the Eagles. Why is it that we have professional grade video footage of them? Okay? And the reason I'm picking these older ones out is because it was a lot more difficult. You can have a friggin' phone these days and shoot professional grade video. Back in the 1960s and 70s, it was a lot more difficult to shoot professional grade video footage, okay? There's all kinds of it. Don Henley, Glenn Frey, I'm sure Joe Walsh. And the more you kind of start looking into this stuff, the more you go, wow, that is weird, you know? Take the fact that right now there's shit flying in the skies. That is a fact. They're calling them something else now, but there are right now UFOs flying around the world, and it's not the top story in the media. Everybody's just like, okay. You know, I mean, it's all over the place right now. The military is talking about it. I mean, it's out. There's shit all over our skies. We don't know what the hell it is. Nobody knows what the hell it is. But everybody's just like, you know, nobody even bothers even talking about it. You know, when a friggin' balloon crashed in Area 51 in this fucking, whatever it was, in the 40s, it was all the fucking world talked about, okay? Which I'm not saying it was a balloon. I'm sure that it was something much more than that. And I'm sure that our United States government knows a lot more than that. Trump talked about this kind of stuff a little bit. They're preparing us for something, and it sure does feel that way. There's a lot of people saying that. It sure does seem like the government is preparing us for something by letting this stuff out here little by little, right? And it does feel that way. But I think they're just preparing us for, we don't know what the hell it is, you know? Or maybe they do. It would be a shame if they do and they're just now telling us. But you look at propaganda-worthy movies like the movie Up in the Air with George Clooney. Haven't seen that one. George Clooney and that weird-looking chick is in it. I don't know what her name is. She's really weird looking, but she's the kind of like weird looking that you'd be like, I'd tap that from behind, you know. But that movie that came out at a time where Americans were losing their homes, they were losing their jobs by the millions, and they were scared to death to fly because of what had happened on 9/11. Incidentally, today is the anniversary of September 11th, 2001. 22 years. A lot of times in the past years I found myself at the lake house on this day, but this year I did not. Today is September 11th, 2023. And boy, that really brought an emotion up in me. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the movie. The movie was, you know, it was at a time where people were really scared of flying, and the whole movie was based around flying. And the whole movie was based around people losing their homes, losing their jobs. More so losing their jobs, but losing their homes was mentioned in it. now that movie is so irrelevant that if they were released today, nobody would even go watch it. And there's a lot of movies like that in our past that were for the sole purpose of propagating the narrative in the United States. I think that probably started with good intentions, but once our leaders started using that as the way of directing the narrative, meaning our politicians directing the narrative for the middle class, do what they told you. You know, the Democrats back in the 1990s were the people that said, fuck you, I won't do what they told me. Fuck you, I won't do what they told me. And now the Democrats of today are like, fucking hey, you better do what you're told. So, well, this could get fucking ugly. Oh, the ramp's closed, son of a bitch. Alright. Anyway, if you have the time, and most Americans don't have the time to think about shit other than where their next fucking dollar is coming from. And I'm right there, you know. I don't really have a lot of time to think other than these drives that I go on. It gives me time to think about things. You know, it seems I do my best thinking when I'm in the shower, you know. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, most Americans don't have time to think about anything other than where their next fucking dollar is coming from. And they don't think about these things. They don't think about how the United States propaganda has affected their lives. They don't think about how the news media they watch in the morning dictates what the next sentence out of their mouth. Not just the next sentence out of their mouth. They don't think about how the media program they watch in the morning, how it dictates what they're going to think. There's not a lot of people out here in the United States right now that are thinking for themselves. There's just not. I gotta figure out how to get back to I-96 here. I'm headed towards Detroit, so the ramp's closed back there. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get back to 96. And I don't think they're pushing me up to 696, which would be fine because where I'm going is on the east side, so it doesn't really matter to me whether I take 96 or 696 because I'm going out to St. Clair Shores. Anyway, as I was saying, you don't have a lot of people who think for themselves in the United States right now. I think we're at a time right now where there's certain people who have brought about the return of thinking for yourself. Certainly the viral song Rich Men North of Richmond brought about a following of people who started thinking for themselves. I also see that's how they want me to get to 96 by going 7 Mile. I don't think I want to do that. At that point I might as well just go 8 Mile. They don't want you going 8 Mile. That's the issue. But I am, because 8 Mile runs pretty good. So, I also see a lot of people who you would consider left, and a lot of people who you could consider right, lately finding common ground in the fact that whatever they think their politics might be, they're just as broke as each other. And, you know, of course, all the comings out with the 2016 election, what we're finding out about the 2020 election, what we're finding out about things that were absolutely supposed to be the truth and people believed it. I mean, the New York Times did stories about people that because they thought it was, I guess they thought it was the truth. Who knows? Like I said, I'm at a point right now where I am questioning everything I know to be true. But like the whole Trump with the hookers peeing on him and a Russian, it's all bullshit. And I think I've talked about that before. How when they found out it was bullshit not that long ago, we're talking, that was in 2016, that was almost 8 years ago. And we're now only finding out it was bullshit. And then when they called out Nancy Pelosi about it, what does she have to say? And same thing with Hillary Clinton. What does Nancy Pelosi have to say about it? Well, you know, it's a tactic that is used during election season. Like it's no fucking big deal. What are these assholes doing? Just fucking driving around in the middle of the intersection. You know, she acted like it was no big deal. And what is Hillary Clinton's response to it? You know, her normal response. What difference does it make now? What the fuck are these guys doing? What are you doing? What are these people doing? Dude, alright, let's fucking go. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna go around you if you ain't going. Come on, motherfuckers. You gotta be shitting me. The fucked up part is none of these guys know what the fuck they're doing right now. Look at this. They're just driving around the fucking middle of the intersection. Not a fucking one of them has a clue what the next is doing. Looks like a painting crew of some sort. And they're just fucking around. Doesn't matter if lights changed or not. They need to have people out here flagging. For safety's sake, they are painting. Oh, look at the paint fucking blowing onto these cars. Oh my god. That's insane. I'd be pissed. I mean, I guess I wouldn't really be pissed because, oh, you hear that? My car needs a paint job. But anyway, yeah, what does Hillary Clinton have to say about it? What difference does it make now? That's what she said about Benghazi, too. What difference does it make? It's over. You know, Hillary Clinton is an evil fucking person. The Clintons are fucking evil. Evil people. I don't know a stronger word to use other than evil. There should be a stronger word. Those are evil people. I would not want to be affiliated with the Clintons in any way. You could find yourself dead very easily. Look at how many of their bodyguards are now dead. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is real. There's a fucking list of the Clintons, people who were tied to the Clintons who are dead from all kinds. Some of them are bullshit claims because they were, you know, this or that, but others are like, what the fuck? They were killed in robberies and weird shit like that. And of course, when you look it up, it'll say, oh, conspiracy theory about the Clintons' death list. Because they want you to believe it's a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. You can go through those names one by one, and you can find out, you know, you can decide for yourself whether it sounds fishy or not. To me, a whole bunch of them sound really fishy. So, like I jokingly said yesterday, I'm announcing my candidacy for the President of the United States. And the reason I say it jokingly is because they'll never let it happen. What happens to Trump at this point? And as you guys know, I'm not a huge Trump fan. Our country was definitely way better off with President Trump. Way better off. But that's because of his policy. That's because of his policies. And I know, and I hear more and more Democrats coming around. It's like, okay, well, welcome to the party. But boy, you sure were hateful towards me not long ago. And like I said, those of you that want to call me, a Republican or a Trump tart, or you want to claim that I'm a far-right conspiracy theorist, well, tell you what, ask the right if they think that I am a far-leaning right-wing conservative. And then go ask the conspiracy theorists if they think that I'm one of them. Okay? That's all you got to do. I'm not. So when I say jokingly, what I mean is it'll never happen because they'll never allow it to happen. And getting back to where I was going with that is, what are they going to do with Trump? I mean, they've got him under all these indictments. And literally, if you look at this stuff, it's all bullshit. All of it. It's all bullshit. There's no way he's going to get convicted of any of this stuff because there's no evidence for any of it. There goes the camera. Let me check and see if you guys are still with me. Hope you are. Hope I'm with you for a little bit. Everything. It's all bullshit. So what do they do? Are they going to kill him? I think there's a good possibility of that. I think there's a greater possibility of assassination with President Trump than there has been since John Kennedy. Which you guys can do all you want with the Kennedy stuff, but here's the fact: is that Trump wanted to release the rest of the records out, and they blocked him from doing that. Why? Why can't we see the rest of the CIA records and whatnot from the Kennedy assassination? Why not? Is it because we can't handle it? Is it because they haven't finished with the propaganda that's going to steer us in a different direction? Is it because we're not ready for it? They don't think we're ready for it? Or is it because they don't want us to revolt? You can ask all those questions, and the answers you come up with are the answers you come up with. I have my own answers. But at this point in time, I question everything, and I encourage everyone to question everything. I have questioned the 2020 election since it happened. Okay? Back then, there was just a podcast I was watching, and they talked about how anyone who questioned the 2020 election on YouTube got their video taken down. Just recently, not very, very long ago, YouTube sent us an email talking about their updated terms of service, saying that, oh yeah, you know what, we're going to go ahead and allow those videos now. Why? Why would a company like YouTube, who can supposedly do whatever the fuck they want, they're their own company, Alphabet, Google, do that? why would they not want the truth out there? And then don't fucking read too far into it, assholes, because I'm not saying it's true. What I've said is that right now what I'm comfortable with saying is that something was wrong. Something went terribly wrong in that 2020 election. And I can just pull Pennsylvania up as one state where, like I said, I went to bed 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, whatever it was. Trump was up by 500,000 votes, 500,000 votes. He was leading in the state of Pennsylvania. I get up at 6:30 in the morning, and Joe Biden is now leading by 500,000 votes. Which means between 11 p.m. and 6:30 a.m., 1 million votes came in, and every single one of them were from Joe Biden. There's just, you can't make this shit up. I mean, well, I guess you can make this shit up, but the point being is that, there was something terribly wrong. There's something terribly wrong with that answer. I'm going to jump on Grand River here and take Grand River back down to 96. I had no idea that I wasn't going to be able to do this in the first place. Get on to 96. Had I known that, I would have just jumped on 94, because all I really need is 94. I guess I could have just stayed on 8 Mile, and maybe that would have been the better choice, because I could have just taken that to Southfield or whatever. Most of you guys don't know where the fuck I'm at anyway. Some of you do. Anyway, getting back to some of this stuff, and I really hope the younger generation jumps on board of this stuff like it's nobody's business, because there's so much misinformation out there. And then you have countries around the world, putting their own misinformation into the United States, and the middle class people of this country absorb it and take it as truth until it's completely debunked. That's why they keep pushing, well, in my opinion, that's why they keep pushing science so much. Because in science, you have to have some hardcore data. You have to completely debunk something to make sure something else is true. But now what I'm seeing the loss of science is that they not, like even Neil deGrasse Tyson is guilty of it, where we say, the beautiful thing that we used to say, the beautiful thing about science is it's constantly evolving. It's constantly evolving and changing. So what may have been true yesterday may not be true today. And boy, we don't hear that anymore. But boy, it sure does seem a lot like things that are going on here in the United States. A lot of things that everybody took as truth yesterday isn't true today, especially when it comes to our politicians. And again, these guys that are in office, it's unbelievable how the hell is Mitch McConnell still in office? How can he possibly represent a group of constituents in any way? The man can't take care of himself at this point. He's having these mini strokes or whatever is going on with him. God bless him, and may he find the health care that he needs. But man, you can't be in office. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, this man cannot take care of himself. He cannot do daily tasks for himself anymore. Meaning, I don't know. I highly doubt Joe Biden takes care of his basic needs. I don't know. I highly doubt he's capable of taking care of his basic needs. I'm talking about showering, shaving, I'm guilty of not shaving. Look at this. You guys should stop into this hotel. The Deluxe Inn Motel. I probably shouldn't be around here with a video camera. People aren't going to like that. I can tell you right now. Well, I haven't been down this way in a long time. But I should shoot some Detroit videos again. Everybody really liked those. Anyway, you guys, I'm off to do my thing. You're off to do your thing. Until next time, I'm going to say peace out. But until next time, I want you to question everything. And I hope you find the answers. Not the answers you're looking for. I don't want you to find what you want to hear. I want you all to find what you need to hear. All right? And we're all guilty of going out there and looking for what we want to hear. But look, we all need to hear what we need to hear. Okay? So until next time, I'm at Grand River and Telegraph. Peace out.